The story kicks off with a strange encounter. The screen still shows all 100 tries left. A girl is lying there, completely lifeless, while the MC stands frozen, confused about what just happened. With no answers in sight and no other option left, the MC makes a shocking decision. He pulls the trigger on himself. Instantly, the counter drops down, showing only 32 tries left. The scene shifts to a high school, where the MC greets a girl named Sheena-chan. He hands her a helmet, worried that she might hurt her head during PE class. Sheena-chan gives him a confused look and asks if he's joking. But the MC is completely serious. After a little urging on his part, she simply brushes him off and walks away. He stands there, watching her leave, a mix of sadness weighing on him. To him, Domi-san feels distant and cold. He hurries into the classroom, quickly apologizing for being late before dropping into his seat with visible frustration. From behind, someone whispers his name, Shia, and asks if he went to see that girl from the advanced class again. At that moment, concern flickers across his face. The girl sitting with him, a member of the student committee, casually mentions that she's heard the advanced class girl can be a bit harsh. She then asks what he even sees in her. Shabora, unable to hold back his excitement, admits that he's into everything about her. His thoughts drift to her piercing gaze and the disciplined way she walks. Completely absorbed in the image of her beauty, he slips into a daydream, imagining it as his life's mission to become her knight in shining armor. After classes end, Ship waits outside Sheena-chan's classroom. Lost in thought about how intelligent she is, he wonders if he were just a little smarter, they could actually be together. All he can do now is look forward to the moment she finally walks out. But as he keeps an eye on her, he starts noticing strange looks coming from her classmates. He's certain he saw Sheena-chan enter that building, and now worry creeps in. What if she's stuck somewhere? After searching around for a while, he finally spots her and quickly calls out her name. His voice is full of anxious concern, worried about why she's taking so long. But instead of appreciating it, Sheena-chan gets irritated, thinking he's just lurking around her again. In reality, all he wants is to make sure she's safe. Sheena-chan looks at him, clearly confused by what he's saying. She tells him to be straightforward if he has something to say, but firmly makes it clear that she has no interest in his feelings. To him, those feelings mean everything, but for Sheena-chan, who barely even knows him, it doesn't register the same way. She bluntly tells him to stop forcing his emotions onto her, because to her, it just feels creepy. Sheena-chan tries to walk past him, but her foot suddenly slips on a piece of paper, sending her stumbling straight toward him. He shouts for her to watch out, but it's too late. They crash right into each other. In that moment, the MC thinks, not this again. He can't stand the thought of her getting hurt once more. Sheena-chan, shaken but still composed, tells him to snap out of it. When the MC finally opens his eyes, he sees blood on Sheena-chan's face. Panicking, he rushes over to check on her, ready to call an ambulance if needed. But then he realizes the truth. It's not her blood at all, it's his own nosebleed. Sheena-chan is completely fine. Relieved, he mutters to himself with a nervous laugh that maybe he almost died, since his whole life just flashed before his eyes. Sheena-chan laughs at his words and asks what he even means by that. Seeing her smile instantly puts him at ease. It's the moment he's been working so hard for, just to see her laugh like this. A flashback rolls in, showing how he constantly tried to ask her out, only to be met with her harsh rejections every single time. Frustrated, he even breaks down in tears over his bad luck. Yet, despite all that, Sheena-chan calls out to him now, and in her voice, there's a hint of gratitude. Eventually, Sheena-chan decides to give him a chance and agrees to go out with him. Fast forward to the present. She's fussing over the bloodstain, while Yugo can't help but wonder if his nosebleed ended up on her face. That thought makes him panic a little, realizing it could mean they accidentally kissed. He blurts out the question, asking if they really smudged by mistake, and the sudden suggestion completely freaks Sheena-chan out. Yugo quickly shakes off that wild thought and tries to play it cool, acting as if nothing happened. As the two step outside and prepare to cross the street, he tells himself that maybe tomorrow he'll get another chance with Sheena-chan. But suddenly, out of nowhere, a truck barrels around the corner, heading straight toward her. Without hesitation, Yugo leaps into action to save Sheena-chan. When Yugo finally regains consciousness, the first thing he sees is Sheena-chan lying lifeless right in front of him. His mind spins, wondering why this keeps happening again and again. Memories of her flood back, how she once asked if he'd calm down during the entrance ceremony, and how she teased him by calling him simple. But now, in the present moment, his chest tightens and his breath quickens, his heart racing uncontrollably. No matter how many times Yugo tries to save Shina-chan, it always ends in disaster. Each time, she dies, and now it's happening again, more brutal than ever before. Gripped by despair, he pulls out the gun, her face flashing in his mind, and impulsively pulls the trigger. The counter drops once more. Now he's down to just 31 tries left. It all resets, back to square one. Yugo once again offers Shina-chan a helmet, worried she might hit her head. But this time, she looks at him in confusion, asking who he even is. Without hesitation, she brushes him off and walks away. With every attempt, her memory of him fades more and more. Still, Yugo feels a small sense of relief. At least she remembers his charm. To him, that's a price he's willing to pay. After all, he doesn't think his own life holds much value anyway. Out of nowhere, a mysterious woman appears and asks Yugo if he's gotten a little too comfortable with death. She's stunning, so beautiful it catches him off guard. By this point, Yugo has already been through this entire ordeal about 69 times. The woman reminds him that this was supposed to be a one-time deal, yet he keeps repeating it over and over again. The mysterious woman warns Yugo that if he keeps this up, he's going to lose his mind soon. He's shocked that she's bringing this up now. While talking about his desire to protect Shina-chan, he admits that maybe it's only a surface-level feeling. He even confesses that he doesn't really understand why he's so drawn to her in the first place. As those words leave his mouth, his hand begins to tremble, because suddenly, a memory of Shina-chan's smile flashes through his mind. He thinks back to that moment when Shina-chan thanked him, and just remembering it makes him feel insanely happy. He realizes he can't even pinpoint when he first started liking her. All he knows is that every time she smiles, it feels like his whole body is screaming with joy. It's wild how deeply he's fallen for Shina-chan. So much so that, to him, dying over and over again doesn't even seem like a big deal anymore. That kind of passion even catches the attention of the beautiful witch. To her, it's amusing, just a silly human obsession. She recalls watching Yugo's little conversation with Shina-chan on the stairs, something she thought was completely pointless. But then, with a sly smile, she tells him it was actually the perfect opportunity. She teases that he could have just kissed Shina-chan right then, which completely catches Yugo off guard. The witch tells Yugo that if he kisses Shina-chan, then both of them will get to live. Yugo hesitates, thinking that a first kiss is a once-in-a-lifetime moment, something he wants to make truly memorable. It feels awkward talking about it in front of her, but he tries to play it cool. Then comes the reveal. The woman isn't just any witch. She's actually the goddess of love, whose duty is to bring couples together. With a teasing smirk, she asks Yugo if he's really ready to take some action. Yugo brushes off her words like it's nothing, until the goddess suddenly points a gun straight at his head. With a calm yet sharp tone, she tells him that love is endless, but she understands he's willing to take the risk, calling him a foolish human. She orders him to keep chasing love and to prove it to her. As an image of Shina-chan flashes in his mind, Yugo answers firmly in his heart. Yes. Without hesitation, the goddess pulls the trigger. The counter drops once again. Now it's down to 31. The scene shifts to Yugo reading a breaking story about a truck crashing into a shop. Realizing time is running out, he decides he needs to act fast. So he leans in and gives Shina a kiss. Later, as he waits by the train station, Yugo glances around and suddenly spots Shina-chan walking past. Just like the goddess told him, this is his moment to prove his love. But for some reason, he still can't bring himself to kiss Shina-chan just yet. The world around Yugo is slowly shifting, yet fate itself feels frozen in place. He's been doing everything he can to protect Shina, but before that kiss can ever happen, the two of them need to draw closer. If only Shina could remember everything from before, it would make things so much easier. Still, Yugo knows he can't just kiss her unless she's truly ready and on board with it. The next day at school, Yugo playfully calls out to Shina and jokingly asks if he can push her down, which makes her pause for a moment. She realizes he's the same guy from yesterday, but quickly brushes him off. Still, Yugo doesn't give up. He keeps the conversation going with his upbeat energy, while Shina continues shutting him down at every turn. Then Yugo suddenly asks Shina what her type is, making her pause for a moment to think. After a short silence, she finally replies that it's definitely not someone like him. Her blunt answer catches Yugo completely off guard, leaving him wondering if she wants him to change his appearance or something about himself. After a while, Yugo decides to check in on Shina's class, with all her classmates staring at him in total confusion. This time, he shows up dressed like a proper gentleman and confidently tells her he's there to pick her up, even calling her my lady. Sheena can't help but wonder if he's seriously trying or just acting out some random scene from a drama. Yugo confidently claims this is how he usually is and that he just wanted Sheena to see it. When he asks her what she thinks, Sheena pushes back, questioning why he even likes her so much when they've barely talked before. But the truth is, Yugo remembers every single thing about her. Yugo explains that even if Sheena doesn't remember, they really did share moments together. He reminds her that no matter how offbeat or awkward he looked back then, she was the one who would look him in the eye and actually talk to him. And even now, he says, she's still the same as she always was. Sheena, however, is left feeling completely conflicted, because honestly, she can't remember any of it. So when Yugo asks if he can come by tomorrow, Sheena brushes him off, and that stings more than he expected. As Yugo starts to walk away, Sheena can't help but wonder if he's actually planning to show up since tomorrow's their day off. Then, almost casually, she throws in that she'll just see him next week. Those sweet words stop Yugo completely in his tracks. He just stands there, frozen, watching Sheena walk away, unable to put into words how deeply he loves her. And in that quiet moment, he realizes something important. No matter how many times the world changes around them, Sheena is always still herself. Next, the scene shifts to Yugo standing outside Sheena's house, keeping watch even on the weekend. He assumes she's probably buried in her studies again today. Her presence feels a little distant, almost out of reach. Thinking she might already be asleep, Yugo finally decides to head out, knowing they'll meet again tomorrow. The next day, Yugo can't shake off the worry about whether Sheena-chan is taking the day off. Unable to sit still, he decides to drop by her class. But when he steps into the room, the atmosphere feels oddly casual. Everyone is just chatting away as if nothing's wrong. Then, as he listens closely to their words, the truth hits him like a typhoon. Sheena-chan is actually dead. Yugo just stands there, completely stunned, his mind racing back to the moment he was watching Sheena-chan's house. Was she already gone back then? His hands tremble as he pulls out the gun, the same crushing wish flooding over him. If only he could turn back time, just like he always does after she dies. But deep down, Yugo knows the painful truth. Going back to that morning won't change a thing. Even with the love gun in his hand, Yugo realizes he can't go back 3 days this time. Her classmates begin to notice his strange behavior, whispering behind his back and calling him a stalker. Some even start to suspect he might be the one responsible for Sheena-chan's death. Frustrated, Yugo steps up to one of the students and demands to know, is that really how it looked to them? Yugo snaps, telling them they don't know anything before raising the love gun and pointing it at his own head. The students panic, shouting in fear, asking what the hell he's doing, and if that gun is even real. But for Yugo, there's no escape left. In his mind, this is the only path and he has to go through with it. Yugo slowly pulls the trigger and ends his own life. The counter drops, only 27 attempts remain. Moments later, he wakes up and checks his phone. The date flashes, October 25th, the day Sheena is still alive. His eyes shift to the lifelines left. Thanks to that goddess, he's learned the trick. If he uses 4 tries at once, he can jump back to that morning. Realizing he has to act quickly, Yugo knows he can't stop things the same way he did before. But the moment Sheena spots him, her eyes narrow. She remembers him as the guy who slipped that letter into her shoe locker. Without hesitation, she tells him she doesn't feel the same way. He desperately insists that if Sheena stays home today, she'll be in serious danger. Then, without warning, Yugo pulls out a rope and declares that he's going to kidnap her. Even the fiery goddess watching can't help but wonder if he's completely lost his mind.